Nestled in the southeast corner of the African continent lies KwaZulu-Natal, the kingdom of the Zulu. An expanse of rugged countryside fed by some of Africa's greatest rivers. At the height of the hot, humid summer months, paddlers from around the world converge on the capital city of Pietermaritzburg for the annual 3-day marathon down the Umsunduzi and Umgeni rivers to the coastal city of Durban. The ultimate canoe challenge, the Dusi Canoe Marathon. It all started at a campsite in Italy during World War II, where renowned conservationist Dr. Ian Player vowed to his colleagues that he would paddle from Pietermaritzburg to Durban if he survived the war.
We were all saying what we would like to do if we survived the war. So I said, well, what I would like to do is to canoe from Pietermaritzburg to Durban. And they all laughed.
On December the 22nd, 1951, Player and 7 other adventurers left Pietermaritzburg on the Umsunduzi River in teams of 2 for the coast. 6 days and 8¼ hours later, Player was the only paddler to finish the race when he paddled his battered wooden canvas kayak down the lower Umgeni River into Blue Lagoon. The Dusi Canoe Marathon was born. The race snowballed in popularity, the entry topping 500 paddlers in 1977, and in 1983 it attracted over 1,000 paddlers for the first time, with iconic paddlers like the Dusi King, Graham Pobellis, becoming household names in South African sport. So what is it that has made the Dusi Canoe Marathon the greatest canoe river marathon in Africa and one of the world's premier races? The race covers roughly 120 kilometers over 3 stages, raced on a Thursday, Friday and Saturday in mid-February. It starts at the Natal Canoe Club clubhouse at Kampsdrift in Pietermaritzburg on the Umsunduzi River, with a 36-kilometer first stage to Dusi Bridge, followed by a 43-kilometer second stage to Umsinsi Resort on Inanda Dam, during which time the Umsunduzi River joins the far larger Umgeni River. It ends at Blue Lagoon in Durban after a 36-kilometer final stage. The first half of the race is raced on the Umsunduzi or Dusi River with the benefit of a water release from Henley Dam. This is a small river with numerous rocky Grade 2 rapids and several weirs and low-level bridges that need to be negotiated. This river leads the paddlers out of the city into the remote and rural Valley of 1,000 Hills. Shortly after the start of the second stage, the Umsunduzi meets the Umgeni River, where the character of the race changes. With vast granite rocks, the Umgeni is a far bigger river, with challenging Grade 3 to 4 rapids and several large weirs to be negotiated. This is a hot, wild valley that offers plenty of thrills for the paddlers, and the race includes a testing 12-kilometer flat water section across Inanda Dam at the end of the second stage. The final stage into Durban on the Umgeni River offers some exhilarating wild water on cold, clean water released from Inanda Dam. What makes the Dusi unique as a race and as an adventure for every single participant are the portages on each of the 3 stages. Paddlers leave the river several times on each day's racing to carry their craft on narrow paths through the bush, sometimes to avoid unrunnable cataracts and sometimes to save time by cutting out long horseshoe bends in the river. These portages are tough, like the 4-kilometer long Campbell's Farm and Guinea Fowl portages on day 1, the steep Ngweni Hill portage on day 2 that cuts out Mamba Gorge, and the critical steep Burma Road portage on the outskirts of Durban that saves the top elite paddlers vital minutes on day 3. Portaging a K1 takes practice, and the title contenders can run at close to normal trail running pace with a boat on their shoulders. Running with a K2 is slightly more comfortable, and it takes slick understanding between the 2 paddlers. It's an option to drag kayaks on the downhills using a dragline, which, while tough on the hull of the boat, makes the portages even faster. The race alternates every year between K1 and K2 championships. For the bulk of the field, many choose to race K2s every year, and there are even the occasional K3s that have done the race, and in recent years, stand-up paddleboarders have completed the tough outing as well. To really enjoy a Dusi, the paddler needs to be prepared. It can be extremely hot, sometimes over 40 degrees Celsius, and very humid, making staying hydrated very important. Similarly, protection against sunburn is vital, especially for the slower paddlers that race through the heat of the day. The weather in KZN during summer is unpredictable, and heavy rains can make for muddy portages and very full rivers. In short, no two Dusis are the same, and the paddler needs to be prepared for every possibility. Seconds are just as important to the paddler's planning. Armed with spare paddles, cold juice and repair kits, the paddler support crews can arrange to meet their athletes at regular intervals on each day, offering encouragement that is as welcome as the cold juice. There is no signposting on the route, and paddlers are expected to trip the river and do their research to learn the challenges of each of the 3 days. It is a tough, quintessentially African sporting challenge that is an achievement for every single paddler that reaches the finish line.
So it is not just a race, it is much, much more. And the more, as the years go by, more and more people want to participate. And it is an exploration too of themselves, testing themselves against what they thought they couldn't do, and then discover in fact what they can do.
While the elite stars enjoy the limelight, paddlers of all ages and shapes finish the race every year, proving that the race, no matter how tough, is within the reach of a competent, well-prepared paddler. These men and women, boys and girls, are the heroes of the race as they join the list of finishers of the ultimate canoe challenge.